Today I'm here with Ethan Shulam. Today we're going to be conducting a few fitness tests and a few body composition tests just to get a baseline of his body and where it is and his health as well. Before this video was taken, we had already done the screening documents. Everything was good to go. He didn't have any risks. There was one question that I had to ask him about his prescription medication. He's on Serdep, so I asked him, does it affect you when you're training? And I got a good answer that it doesn't affect him at all when he's training, so that is a good to go. Moving on to the end of our screening document, we did some SMART goals. First of all, his first goal is to reach 13.5% body fat, which is definitely specific, measurable, achievable, and reasonable. His next one is he wants to move down to 95 kgs, which is also that falls into the SMART goals. He wants to get visible abdominals, so he wants to make his abs show and make them stronger, which is also SMART. It falls under that category. Then the last two, I can't do that because it's out of my practice, because he wants to cut out on caffeine. I can't prescribe that to him because I'm not able to do that, and he wants to have a specific diet, a balanced diet, which again I can't do. So he has passed the screening documents and is good to go to do the testing.
We go.
Okay, before we perform the next part of the video, we're going to have to ask the client, is it okay that I will be touching you in different places on your body? Is that okay with you?
100%.
Okay. That is very important with liability when doing these types of tests. So yes.
Brad, please can you demonstrate and explain to me how to do skin fold testing and the body measurements?
Okay. Could I please ask you to take your shirt off for me?
When you do the skin fold testing, Brad, please show me how to do the tricep and the thigh.
Okay. We're going to be... Can you please face the board for me? Make sure that your tricep is nice and relaxed. Don't flex it, otherwise we can't get a fair reading. So when doing the tricep, you make sure that you mark where the shoulder joint is and where the elbow is, where the elbow starts. From here you take your pinkies, align them, and make sure it meets in the middle. You make a cross of where you're gonna take the reading. Then you get your caliper and you make sure that you're not taking any muscle. It is a vertical reading, so you make sure that it's nice and soft, not grabbing any muscle or tissue. You push it on and you wait for it to click, and the reading is 21. After reading 1, you have to do a second one to make sure that your readings are correct. So again, you make sure it's nice and relaxed. Make sure you're holding the caliper correctly, vertical, and you click. And then again, it's 21. From there, we're going to ask you to please pull your pants down just a little bit so we can go to the thigh.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now you're going to have to have a seat for me, just so you can relax.
This is so weird.
Just go down, straighten your legs for me.
Start the game. Go.
Okay. Okay, just make sure that it's nice and relaxed, don't flex it. There again, you're going to take from the hip and you're going to go to the knee. And again, in the middle, you're going to make a mark. There. again, it's a vertical reading where you take the mark, you make sure that you're not taking any fat, and you wait for the click, and there it is on 30. Then again, you're going to take another reading to make sure that it's balanced and you have a fair reading. And you go again, vertical, click, and again 30.
Okay.
Okay, now we're going to be doing the body measurement.
You're gonna do the hip and waist, please. Show me
Okay.
how.
First, we're going to do the hip. Starting, we need obviously a measuring tape. There is two sides to this measuring tape. One is for the males and one is for the females. So we need to make sure that we're using the male side so that we don't take a female reading. With the waist, we're going to go by the belly line. Make sure that it's nice and straight across the belly. Go around. Make sure we're not pulling too hard. And we're going to take a reading. Make sure that the tape is nice and straight across the body. And we get a reading of 110 on the body, on the waist. Then we're going to go down onto the hip, which is where the bone is. We're going to make sure that we on the male side again, so that we don't confuse ourselves. Here we're going to start across and make sure we're on the line there. Again, not pulling too hard, making sure we get a fair reading. We get 110 again. There, the readings are similar, so his hip and his waist are very similar.
Brad, after this now, can you please explain how to do the BMI? So work out your client's BMI, the height and the weight, please.
Okay. Firstly, to do the BMI, we're gonna be working with the scale, and we've got a measuring tape against the wall just to make it easier for us. And then we're gonna do the formula, which I'm gonna use my phone to calculate. Firstly, can we just go to, I want you to stand against the wall, flat feet, make sure you lean against the wall, back nice and straight, don't lean forward, okay, nice and back against the wall, so we can measure. Okay, you go with your hand, make sure it's nice and straight, and we get a reading of 1.83. We go and write that down, then we go to the scale, put the scale on, and we're going to hop on when the scale is ready, and we hop on, wait for the scale to give us the reading, and we get a reading of 116.7. Now we go to our formula, which is weight divided by height in meters squared. So his height was 183 centimeters, which you converted now into meters squared. So you say 1.83 meters times by 1.83 meters, that's your square number. You get an answer there of, let me just do the calculation, 1.83 multiplied by 1.83, you get an answer of 3.3489. Okay? Then your formula is obviously weight divided by height in meters squared. So then you would say 116.7 divided by 3.3489, and you get an answer of 34.84, which is his BMI index. We then go onto the scale of where he falls under. Underweight is under 18.5. Normal would be between 18.5 and 24.9. Your overweight would be 25 and up. Here we do fall on the higher level, but that does not matter because we are taking a baseline test of where you are so that we can improve it. That's the whole reason why we're doing these tests.
Okay, Brad, since we've done that now, please explain to me and demonstrate how one does blood testing. Demonstrate blood pressure, sorry.
So in order to do blood pressure, we're going to need obviously equipment, which is the stethoscope and the blood pressure kit, which helps you calculate the blood pressure. So we're going to go on the left arm because it's closer to your heart and you can find the pulse easier. The norm for blood pressure is 120 over 180, but here again it depends on the person because every person's heart rate is different, so everyone is different, so everyone will get a different reading, but your norm would be 120 over 80. So here we give me your left arm, make sure that it's nice and we go over, not too tight, and we make sure that it's nice and stable. We put the stethoscope on, we make sure that we pump it up to 160 and we listen to the first beep and the last beep. That's where we found the blood pressure. And making sure that we tighten it when we get to 160 and then we get our stethoscope ready to find the beep. So we're going to pump it up to 160. Did you pause it? Okay, now we're going to listen. Okay, we have listened to the beeps and his reading is 140 over 80. So the first reading is a lot higher due to his heart rate being a lot higher. Walking around or doing exercise before can have an impact on this. But that is close to the norm, so it's not too bad. But it's definitely not a high risk or anything.
Brad, please explain and demonstrate how to do the posture analysis.
Okay, firstly, the posture analysis is to find out where your body is lying and the alignment of your body and bones. You get different types, you get the sway back, you get your fair, and you get your deformed analysis type, where your body is aligned skew and your balance is off. Sway back is obviously leaning forward and your back is arched. Fair would be obviously your normal type of posture. So now firstly, I'm going to ask you to face me, make sure that your shirt is nice and tight, and stand in your neutral position for me please. Okay, hands facing out. Okay, we can see his shoulders are aligned nice and straight, his earlobes are in line with his shoulders and his chest, so that means that he's not aligned skew. His hip is nice and straight aligned. He does have, on his feet, he does tend to stand with his toes pointing outwards, which is definitely not a problem. His ankles are nice and straight. He hasn't had any injuries in his ankles, so that is all good. His knee joints align nicely with his shoulders, so there he is nice and straight. So can I ask you to face that way for me and make sure that you're nice and the shirt is nice and tight. Stand in your neutral position. I'm going to move back a little bit just to make sure that I can see everything. There he's moving from the top His earlobes are in line with his shoulder blade or his shoulder joints, which is very good. He has a fair tilt in his back, which is normal. His hips are nice and straight, they're not leaning forward or back. His knees are nicely aligned, they're not skewed in any way. Can I please ask you to face the board for me? Here again, his feet are pointing outwards, which is definitely not a problem. His waist is nice and straight, nothing to be worried about. His shoulders are nice and straight, his earlobes, his head is facing nice and straight, and his knees are not skewed or he's not deformed in any way. Can I ask you to please face the door for me? From this angle, again, you can see his earlobes are aligned with his shoulder joints, his head nice and straight, his chest pointing outwards, which is fine. On this side, you can see a little tilt forward in his hip, but nothing out of the ordinary, just a normal hip. His ankles are nice and aligned, he doesn't lean forward with his legs, nice and straight all round. So here we can analyze him as a fair posture. So he's got a fair posture, nothing to be worried about, nothing to try and fix. So he is perfect the way he is.
Brad, please explain and demonstrate how to do cardiorespiratory test.
Okay, for the cardiorespiratory test, we are going to be doing something a lot different due to us just looking at his heart rate of how far he can go, due to him being different from your normal athlete. So here we're going to be doing a 3-minute step-up test, just to get the heart rate up. So all he's going to do is up, down, all the way, okay, for 3 minutes, and we're going to see how he is, how his breathing is, just to test how long he can last. Okay, I'm going to time you for 3 minutes, and I'm going to talk to you and see how your breathing is as we go. And I'll tell you when to start. Your 3 minutes starts now. Nice and steady. Make sure that you're breathing. How are you feeling at this point? Are you feeling nice and fresh?
Feeling nice and fresh, ready to keep going.
Okay, that's good. There we can hear he can do his step-ups while he's talking to me, so that means his breathing is still fine, he's still good to go, his heart rate is good, it's not rising yet.
Okay.
Keep going, breathe nicely. Okay, how are you feeling now after breathing?
I can definitely feel the heart pumping in my chest.
You're starting to get a little bit tired. Keep
Yeah.
going.
It's still getting harder to take in.
Okay,
So
keep
far,
going.
I can still go.
Keep going, keep going. Okay, keep going, keep breathing. He's starting to breathe a little bit heavily now. You can start to see that he's a little bit tired. Are you starting to get a little bit tired while doing this?
It's harder to get the breath in.
Okay, this is where you start breathing a lot lighter. Keep your hands above your head and keep going. And there is our 3 minutes up. Okay, yeah, we can see he's a little bit tired. This can tell me that after a while of doing it, your heart rate starts picking up and you start sweating and getting a little bit tired. That's why this 3-minute step-up test does work. The protocol for this doesn't really have a protocol, but it determines on how the person is, how fit they are. So you can't vary or compare to other people. If he's tired after 2 minutes, starting to breathe heavily, then that's him. That's a baseline so that we can move forward from it.
Okay, thank you for showing me that, Brad. Now, can you please do a demonstration of strength and endurance fitness test?
Okay. Strength and endurance fitness test is using your body weight and doing it over a long period of time to see how long you can last. So here we're going to be doing the push-up. The norms here are 36 for very good. Improvement needed would be from 16 and below. So we're going to have this tape roll to have a guideline of where his chest touches. We're going to go down. We're going to make sure that your back is nice and straight, hands in line with your shoulders, and shoulder width apart. Go down, touch, and that's one. I want you to go as long as possible until you start to lose your fatigue and you start losing form. Yeah. So we're going to go as long as you can go for until your form goes out of proportion. So if you can go down into your position, so I can check the form in the starting position. Hands shoulder width apart, back nice and straight. Don't want you going up or down. I want you nice and straight. Make sure that you're engaging your core as well. And we're going to start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Okay, you're starting to get fatigued now. That's where you stop him because you can't carry on with the test. So there you got to 26. That is his strength ability for push-ups, and that is what we do for those types of tests.
Okay, Brad, please do identification, demonstration, and analysis of a flexibility test, please.
Okay, what you're going to be doing is a flexibility test to see how flexible your legs and your back is. Here we're going to be doing a stand and reach, where we have a 30 centimeter high box where you're going to be standing on, and you're going to make sure that your knees are a little bit bent so that you don't hurt yourself, and you won't be able to stretch as far if your knees are straight. So I'm going to demonstrate here. You're going to go with your toes at the end, a little bit bent knees, and you're going to reach all the way down as far as you can. You're going to go up again, and you're going to breathe in and out again. And every time you do that, it will go further. So we're only going to do that twice. And then we're going to have the tape measure at the top to measure how far. So the way of reading this is if he doesn't go past his toes, it's minus. And if he goes past, it's plus. Your norms here would be from 10, plus 10 to plus 16. That would be your excellent. Your good would be from 6 to 10, and then from 5 to 0 would be your average, and then below that would be work needed. So let's start. We're going to go for our first one now. Make sure that your toes are at the edge. I'm going to put the tape measure here. Make sure that it's against here. Okay, now I want you to bend your knees just a little bit, not too much, just a little bit straighter, a little bit more. And now I want you to go breathe in and down. Okay, his first reading is at 2 centimeters. Now go back up and breathe in and breathe out and go down again. And we have a reading of 5. There, with that reading 5, would be your average. Just above average, which is very good for him being very tall and obviously a lot bigger and stronger. So we can work on our flexibility to get it to a lot better, but this is a baseline test.
Okay, Brad, we have come to the end of your testing with your client. Can you just give us a review of how it went and the results?
Okay, So with our screening, he was obviously found to partake in it. There was no risks involved. Health-related fitness is components that may lower risks such as high blood pressure and diabetes. These types of fitness will prevent that from having high blood pressure. The fitter you are, the lower your blood pressure will be, and your heart rate won't go as high. Then performance-related, this is the capacity of the client, which is your speed and your reaction. So your speed will definitely be within yourself, how far you can push yourself. So the fitter you are, the harder you can push yourself, the longer you can go. Then going on to the results, we're going to go back and just look at what we did. So we did the weight to hip ratio. So here you go, your waist divided by your hip. And he did fall under the good category. He was 0.84, so he was very good there. Then moving on to body composition. This needs a bit of work, which is fine. We like getting work done. Your normal male norms would be 91 to 110, and then your normal female would be 101 to 120. Your athlete male would be 81 to 100, and your athlete female would be 86 to 110. Here he falls way over that, which is fine. It's a baseline, so we can move forward in it. Then going to circumference of his body. Here he did go over as well, which is fine. We're doing a baseline test. Here we just need to work on a lot of cardio, a lot of high intensity stuff to get that down. Then push-ups, you did 26 push-ups. You went to fair, between fair and good. So that is very good as well. Not bad at all. Then going on to flexibility, you went to 5 centimeters plus 5 centimeters, which is average, which is also good, knowing that you are very tall as well. So your norms there would be +6 to +16 is very good, and poor would be -20 to -9, which you did not do. Then we did BMI as well. He did go over there, which is fine. He is a lot over, so we need to work on that and get it down so that there is no risk involved. Then we went to our posture assessment. Here we found that you have a fair posture, no sway back or flat back or anything, no deformity found, so you are very good there. So overall, we did find something we can work with, and a lot of improvement can be done. So with regards to what we found with him, yes, it is not what he wants to see, but it is what a trainer wants to see, because you want to work with him and see the results therefore. So that is all from me. Thank you, Ethan, for doing this with me.
Thank you so much.
Wait, I forgot to mention about his blood pressure. His blood pressure, the norm is 120/80. He did go to 140/80, which isn't bad at all. It's just a little bit high, but nothing risky at all. And with that, it also shows me that it relates to all the other tests that we did. So we have found a good test that we've done here. It hasn't been all different types of results. So it's good to know that we found a similar result. And yes, so that is final. Thank you for helping again. And we will be doing a lot of training and working and getting all our results down and to better results. Thank you.
Thank you so much.